What's going on, Tar Pit crew? Welcome back to another episode of the Tar Pit podcast. This is not our normal hour-long podcast where we're either breaking down a position group or talking with a recent commit. Not so much breaking news as it is now up against 9:20 tonight, but as a 2:15 UNC football lets us know that Gio Lopez is going to be the starting quarterback for UNC football going into week 1 versus TCU. But if you go all the way back to our first position breakdown a little over a month ago, you would know this wasn't a surprise. Really, anybody, if you listen to any content out there about UNC football, you would know that this wasn't a surprise. They paid him big money. He came here. He's expected to start, and he is the starter for UNC football. Troy, Trevor, get in here. How are we feeling about Gio Lopez being named the starter today by Carolina?
Man, I'm stoked about it, dude. Something that, kind of writing on the wall situation. Guy come in, transfer from South Alabama. He's got a ton of potential, man. It's a big time football being played at the ACC level, a lot different than the Sun Belt Conference. I say that, lightly. But yeah, man, it's a new era at the QB position. It's a new era for Carolina football, and I'm excited to see Gio, take the starting snaps Monday against TCU. Man, I think he's got a ton of potential, and the ceiling is the roof for him.
Yeah, Trevor, get in here. What's your first thoughts when you saw that tweet come across?
My first thought was it's football season for real now, because we all knew it, everybody expected it, but now Bill's announced his quarterback, so now it's 5 days away. It's right around the corner officially. So I think Gio, obviously, we had hoped this would happen because I think he's got the most upside as of right now, like week 1 to play. So I'm very excited and looking forward to seeing what he can bring.
Yeah, well, let's keep going here. This is gonna be a shorter episode tonight. This is just really, talking about Gio Lopez and getting the guys' input on what they feel like Gio Lopez can provide this offense in 2025. Coming over from South Alabama, now finds himself as the starter for the UNC football team. Talk to me a little bit about what made Gio Lopez, through camp potentially stand out over Max Johnson and the incoming freshman, highly touted incoming freshman, Bryce Baker?
Well, I'll add to that, man. He hadn't been on campus, but 3 months max. I mean, he committed to Carolina in the second portal window, and he's had him being announced a starter, man, just shows kind of what the preparation's been like for him, how much effort he's put into getting, on the same page with the guys that we've got at the skill position. But yeah, man, it's crazy. It's another quarterback in the Carolina legacy of quarterbacks. Trev, I'll pass it to you, brother.
And with Gio, man, obviously we didn't want a true freshman to start right away unless he's showing out, and Gio brings experience, but also, Max is very experienced, but how much if we need to be mobile at the quarterback position, how much do we think Max can be mobile right now and take hits, coming off of that injury? He may still need a little bit more time. So Gio brings that dual threat ability, and I'm excited to see the offense. I can see Gio thriving in some bootleg and we expect to see a lot more under center with Belichick and more run, NFL style traditional offense. So I think Gio fits that mold perfect. And I believe that, they started from the inside out, but they identified what type of quarterback they would need best to fit the offense, and they went out and got Gio. So I'm excited to see it.
Hey, I'll piggyback off of you, Trevor. All the talk has been, Belichick's next quarterback, his first college quarterback. I'm more anxious to see what Freddie Kitchens does with Gio, what kind of offense he's, going to put out there on the field. It's Freddie's first time, being an offensive coordinator for us. That was one of Bill's first promotions when he got to Chapel Hill. So I'm, as much as the talk is of Gio being Bill's first quarterback, he's also Freddie Kitchens' first quarterback as well as an offensive coordinator. So we'll see how that mesh goes.
Yeah. And one thing I was going to add this real quick before I forget about it, Chris. You were talking a little bit about when we were off air Freddie and the offense and Gio size and stuff like that. If you guys remember, Freddie came from Cleveland. So before Freddie got the Cleveland offensive or the head coaching job, he was the offensive coordinator at Cleveland with Baker Mayfield. What's Baker Mayfield? Pretty similar build to Gio Lopez. That year with Baker Mayfield, when Freddie was the OC, Baker won Rookie of the Year. So
took him to the playoffs.
He's got experience with quarterbacks that fit just like what Gio, that same frame and same play style.
So what you're really hinting at is that, Gio being 6 foot, right? There's not much concern for you, him potentially going under center being that height.
I mean, there's concern. Whereas if I'm a defensive coordinator, I'm telling my defense, if you can't get there, you're trying to swat the ball. But I think our coaches are good enough to know that they're going to create lanes. Gio's going to be outside of the pocket. There's going to be more bootlegs. Our coaches are good enough to plan around that. So I mean, we may see some batted balls and things like that, but look at Sam. Sam was able to light it up, similar, size. So I don't see it being a major concern or anything like that.
Hey, you mentioned the batted balls, Trevor, and Baker Mayfield. One of the things that I found frustrating when Baker was playing for the Panthers, we didn't really see it as much in college, but when he was in Carolina, I just often found myself, realizing how many batted balls. I think he had like 2, I don't know. There's a stat that I'm trying to pull up right here. I just found myself, thinking, dang, he's got a lot of his passes got batted down. So I'd be anxious to see, how many, if any, of Gio's, against TCU. I'm
poor Baker. That. Baker had some bad coaches, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I think we got a little bit better that'll plan for that.
Yeah, Trevor. You talked about. I thought it was a really good point. You talked about, in all credit to Max, right, for coming back and really putting in all that hard work. I mean, incredible story, incredible perseverance. But you made a good point. How mobile could Max Johnson and could he be, right, going into week 1? And I just think it's a really good point, bringing up that Gio Lopez, brings that mobile style play at the quarterback when potentially is very important going into week 1 with the offensive line being banged up like it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a no-brainer.
So talking about, so let's dive a little bit deeper into his mobility, off the back of that, what potentially, can Lopez bring as a dual threat quarterback, to this type of Freddie Kitchens offense, and what kind of changes and how does that open up the playbook overall when you have a dual threat quarterback like Gio Lopez?
I'll try. Can y'all hear me? I didn't know if my mic was muted or not. Last year at South Alabama, he carried the ball 83 times, rushed for 465 yards and 7 touchdowns. I think his longest rush was 50 yards. I mean, I fully anticipate us using him a majority of the time in dual threat situations. Trev,
when you've got a guy that's dual threat, it's like having to prepare for an extra player on offense.
How many times did Carolina's defense last year get burned by dual threat quarterbacks? I remember us shivering in our boots every time we had to play Haynes King from Georgia Tech.
It opens up so much more. It's way more complicated. You may have to leave a linebacker to spy. That opens up more for this receiver to be open, like
over the top.
It's a ton that you got to prepare for when you have a dual threat quarterback. So it's literally like playing with 12 on 11. You got an extra element. And
you look at his tape, Trevor. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I'm just piggybacking off of you. But you look at how he runs, though. Dude's toting a rock, and he is not scared at the goal line to lower his shoulder. And I don't need we don't need no lineman pushing me, dog. I'm lowering my shoulder. I'm getting in the end zone.
Well, that's a good point, Troy. But for me, I do appreciate a dual threat quarterback and what it can bring, to your offense, like a Sam Howell. Drake May was mobile when he needed to be. I mean, looking at the NFL today, that seems to be the preferred type of quarterback. My guy down in Washington, gotta throw him in there.
JD5.
Yeah, I mean Lamar Jackson, so but there has to be some type of concern when you look at the tape, for Gio Lopez, last year at South Alabama, he took a lot of hits, a lot of hard hits, a lot of hits that were unnecessary. And that was at that level of play. And I'm not sliding that level of play, but you got to think once you step up to the ACC, those hits are going to be could
a little harder.
Yeah, they weigh on you
a little harder, right? Guys are faster. They're playing in the ACC for a reason. Hopefully the coaching staff, and I'm pretty sure they have, right? Because the whole thing with Belichick, he leaves no stone unturned, prepared. That they've had conversations with him about and going over the film that, hey, this is an unnecessary hit. You got to live that half an extra yard when it's not do or die situation. You got to get down, live to see another day. Do you feel like this staff has potentially had those conversations with him going into 2025?
Absolutely. I mean, you compared like NFL. So college, you see it more so. You'll see guys get hits and stuff. But look at the NFL. Majority of those guys, except for Jaden, they all get down or get out of bounds. NFL quarterbacks aren't hitting guys like you see in college. Obviously, you see it in the college game, and we got an NFL staff. So I'm pretty sure they've had that conversation. I will say though, I feel like Gio, we've compared them. I think Gio's probably that Sam and Drake style where them guys are still going to take hits, and we just got to hope and pray. It's just a certain style, and sometimes that's part of their game. Like I remembered with Drake and Sam especially, it seemed like they had to take off running and maybe take a hit or have a running play before they actually got going at the beginning of the games. Like they would have a run play, a scramble play, and then it was like, okay, they're settled in. They looked a lot better after that. So sometimes it's just part of the guy's game, but I'm pretty positive they've stressed every day in Gio's ear, get down, don't take unnecessary hits. I mean, like you said, Belichick doesn't leave no stone unturned. He hasn't throughout his career, so
yeah,
I don't think he will there.
One thing I'll mention too, last year at South Alabama, Gio was sacked 14 times. He had a 12.5% pressure to sack ratio, meaning that 12.5% of the times he was pressured, he was sacked. Anxious to see, with it, we talk about his dual threat ability and his mobility. A lot of times people get frustrated, the quarterback holding the ball too long. I'm anxious to see his decision making in situations like that on Monday night. When the pressure's on him, is he going to, try to be a hero, make a play, or is he going to get what he can, or throw the ball, live to see another down too.
And Troy, I don't know. Troy, you played the offensive, and Trevor, we'll get you in here real quick. Troy, I know you played the offensive side of the ball in college. How important it is for offense throughout the season to see your quarterback, your starting quarterback. It feels like a no-brainer, but kind of I want to get your thoughts on that as a past college athlete on the offensive side of the ball. How important is it to have a quarterback last through the whole season?
It's very important. I mean, you don't ever want to see your quarterback get hurt, and I definitely think it's a offensive lineman's worst nightmare is to see your quarterback get injured in any capacity. But it is important. Another thing I'll mention about Gio too. We talk about him getting sacked and taking hits. It's really going to be a testament to how much time and preparations he's put in with timing with the receivers. Because if you and your receivers, I know in my experience, at playing football, if you and your receiver are on the same page and have the timing down, it makes getting the ball out a lot quicker. You know what I mean? You anticipate your guy being in that spot at that moment, and you just throw it without even really hesitating. So I'm anxious to see that too. It's definitely important to keep your quarterback healthy throughout the course of a season. It's a long season. You get a couple games in there where he may not play a full game. You know what I mean? He may play till halftime. Put the backups in and let him get his rest. And then we've got 2 bye weeks as well this season, so that helps. But another thing that'll keep him injury free, I guess you could say, and knock on wood when we're talking about this, but is the timing with his receivers, being able to get the ball out, in pretty quick.
Trevor, I want you to get in what you had a while ago.
I was just going to say, I don't know if you guys saw today or not, but I believe it was Ship said they nicknamed him Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
I like that because that's kind of when I'm hearing that, I'm hearing he's creating stuff outside of the pocket with his dual threat ability, making throws, just like a Steve Nash, a Magic Johnson, those guys that facilitate those passes, NBA players. So I thought that was pretty cool. So it kind of shows that they've already got some chemistry there.
Yeah.
Ship had mentioned in the ACC media days, he thinks they're already best friends.
Yeah.
So, I'm excited to see that.
I want to throw this out too. I mean, we've had dual threat quarterbacks in the past. Sam ran the ball when he had to. Drake did too, even though Mac and the staff didn't really like him to. I guess just from his frame or whatever. But I'm anxious to see, how much he takes off during the game. You know what I mean? Just take the ball and just make something work.
Yep. Good thoughts. Well, guys, we're up against a quick little break. We'll be right back. We got something exciting we want to share with you, and we hope you'll join us. Check this out.
What's up, Tar Pit crew? Troy, big things going on this year. What is it? 9 days from kickoff?
Yep, single digits, bro.
September 1st, 3 to 5. Tell them what's going on.
Yeah, Tar Pit crew, if you guys are in Chapel Hill for game day, September 1st, UNC, TCU, 8 o'clock inside Kingman Stadium. Stop by the Carolina Inn. We're going to be here from 3 to 5 doing a live show. Stop on in, give us your thoughts on the season, give us some bold takes, and we'll be sure to get you on there.
Hey, football season's here, baby. Let's go.
All right, guys, welcome back. Exciting stuff. The first ever Tar Pit podcast live show on game day at Carolina Inn from 3 to 5. We hope to see you. If you got some things you want to talk about, we want to connect with you guys. We want you guys to come out and potentially hop on the mic with us. Talk about your bold takes, TCU, how you're feeling about the season, the Belichick era, all that types of good things. We want to see you at the Carolina Inn on game day from 3 to 5. Guys, what are some potential adjustments that Gio Lopez is going to have to face and overcome transitioning to the ACC?
Definitely a faster style of play. Trevor, I don't know if I stole your thought there or not, but
no, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Sunbelt. I mean, the Sunbelt, they play. I mean, we just watched the Sunbelt team last season come in and drop 70 on us. So I'm not going to, downplay the level of football, especially in today's landscape. But, I mean, it is a step up in competition. I mean, there's no secret about it. I think that's probably the biggest, elephant in the room, I guess you could say, with him coming from South Alabama to the ACC. It's a big adjustment.
I'll say too, he's also going to be playing with a lot better players around him than he's ever had. Yeah. So I don't really if you can ball, you can ball, right, Troy?
Oh yeah,
You've said
absolutely.
it before. If you can ball, you can ball. So
yeah.
I don't think it'll be a huge adjustment. He's played. You mentioned there's some good, solid teams in the Sun Belt, so there may be a little bit faster, a little bit stronger, but I don't think it's a concern. He got paid a good amount of money to come here, and I trust the guys that went out and scouted him and brought him.
Well, I know what will help him, and that's the iPad. On ACC Media Day, they said didn't have iPads at South Alabama. Now he's got one, probably with everything loaded in on it, coming in every day, right? And carrying that around with him everywhere. So he's got the use of the iPad now, whatever that means.
Hey, one thing I'll add to that, you mentioned the iPad, Chris. We were in Keenan the other day, and we noticed they got new benches on the sidelines. It's like the NFL style where you can sit in and relax on them. They got the fans and the misters underneath them. I thought that was pretty cool. I just had to throw that out there.
Belichick comes to town, and everything gets better. Even the benches on the sideline.
And the padding around the stadium. Get brand new grass, the whole 9 yards.
Well, I tell you what was also new. Everything was all locked up.
And navy blue.
Yeah, I mean,
everything was navy blue,
which is awesome.
New food. Did you guys see the food? I know we're getting
Yeah.
off topic, but we got what, donuts with ice cream in the middle of, like there's some new food that look pretty good that's coming. So that's pretty cool.
Cholesterol or blood pressure.
I know. I'll say this last one, then we can get back on topic for all our listeners. But and I'll probably get some hate for this, but I'm gluten free most of the time. My wife gets on me about it, but I really need to be. And we just need a gluten free hot dog bun, man. Duke has them. We don't got them. We need them for people like me.
I bet they got them this year.
Troy feels like he wants to burn me right now or something.
I got something.
You mean you don't eat meat, Chris?
Oh, I love. I love some steak. Anyway, all right, getting back to the topic. Yeah, look, if y'all are longtime listeners of the podcast, y'all know we got to josh it up from time to time.
Oh, God.
We've been talking about speeding up our intros to get to the information quicker for you guys, but, you know, we're all good buds and we talk every day. So,
hey, it's what makes it fun, man. This right here.
Yeah. So, look, Monday night, TCU coming to town. You know, Lopez has only been on campus, like Troy already mentioned, for a few months, right? You know, connection with the receivers, timing, all that down is so important. You know, how ready do you really think Lopez is for Monday night? And I'll start out. I don't think Belichick would be starting him if he wasn't ready.
We're going to find out. We're going to find out come Monday just how ready he is, man. I honestly don't think that this staff would throw someone out to the wolves, you know, especially as much as they've talked about Max leading up to the season. If they felt like Max could go out there and put a better product down on the field, then he'd be starting. And that's no shot to Max at all. But the staff, man, and the eyes that be within the building, he's passed the test to them, you know? So, I mean, I don't think that they throw him out there if they didn't fully think that he had a good enough grasp on the playbook to go out there and make plays and kick the new era off for in the right way.
Well, I'll say too, they got a whole scouting department. So I'm pretty sure that they already watched all that film prior and made their assessments prior for him coming here, knowing that he was going to be ready in time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Y'all nailed it. I don't think Belichick throws him out there unless he feels confident.
So, you know, Trevor, you mentioned on it. No, Troy was knocking on wood, and I wasn't going to ask you, are you really actually knocking on wood over there on your desk? But okay, all right, good. So that's all right. Just got to make sure that was the real deal. But you know, what if? Hope it doesn't happen. What is the contingency plan potentially if Lopez goes down with an injury?
I mean, I don't even feel right talking about this, to be honest with you. I mean, you know, I feel like the staff has mentioned Max's name enough to make me believe that if you get in a situation where you absolutely need him, that, you know, Max would be that guy. You know, we've read where, you know, this is probably a long shot, I guess, not really, because you just never know. But a Torrey Newkirk has shined, you know, leading up to the season. He's kind of stood out to some people within the building. And then obviously you got Bryce, who was brought in and retained with the program too. So if I had to guess, man, I'd say Max as a safe bet. But I mean, the quarterback room at Carolina is taking a different shape than what it was when Bill first got here. You know what I mean? Ryan Brown's back at Purdue. You know, it's, you know, Jacoby Criswell's not with us anymore. Yeah, I think there's some different options there if needed.
You're talking about, you know, Brown headed back to Purdue. I don't want to mention the money
was just named the starter.
Yeah, named the starter. And I mean, I feel like that just says a lot, right? Like this staff was like, hey, look, this is not what we're looking for. You know, there had to, you know, there was a conversation there, right? And he hits the portal, ends back up Purdue, named the starter. Apparently he's good enough for Purdue and their coaches, right?
Purdue fans wanted him to play last year.
And apparently he got paid a lot of money to come back too. Trevor, you got anything you want to add on that?
I'm just ready, man. And I'll say it feels good to know that we got money. If we identify a problem, we're going to go out, we're going to spend and bring somebody in. So we saw the numbers that we're throwing out for Gio. So I'm just ready, dude. I'm ready to see football played in Kenan Stadium.
I've raved about this staff's ability to find areas of weakness in different positions and go out and Trevor, like you just said, bring guys in and address that need. And obviously they felt that they needed to address a need at the quarterback position. And now we got 7. So I'm excited for him, man. I kind of lost my train of thought before the commercial break, but I mean, we've had dual threat quarterbacks in the past, but when is I think this is the only time we've had a true dual threat quarterback like Gio come through the program. I mean, other than Durant, way back in the day, he was legit. I'm not dismissing him, but as of recent memory,
Well,
Gio's, he's 101, I guess.
I don't want to interrupt you, but I'm a little confused by that. Just being honest. Do you feel like Sam Howell? We can have these types of conversations on the podcast, right?
Yeah.
You don't feel like Sam Howell was pretty equivalent mobile to Gio Lopez?
He was, and I mentioned that earlier. Sam definitely could, tote the rock. I just think Gio's a different type of dual threat quarterback. I never really was worried about Sam. Like I don't really think we ever seen Sam break off a 50-yard touchdown scamper. You know what I mean?
I think Gio's a little faster.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I think they're similar build, but yes, I just think the way Gio runs, he's more of a true dual threat quarterback than what Sam was. I mean, just in my honest opinion. I mean, I may be wrong, and if I am, I'll humbly admit it. But I just
no, those are good points. I just wanted to insert that because if I'm thinking that other listeners are gonna think that as well, so I just want to give you the opportunity to clarify that.
And Drake was mobile. We just didn't see him run. I mean, Gio's longest touchdown last year was a 50-yard touchdown. I think against App State. I mean, we never really seen. I mean, we seen Drake run, but it was more so within the 30-yard line. You know what I mean?
The staff was worried about Drake getting hurt because what was behind him. With Sam, we had Drake behind him, and they knew what they had in Sam. To be real with you, I mean, they knew what they had in Drake.
So, guys, are you comfortable at this point? Closing with one more question.
Yeah, man,
let's do it.
Cool. Going into what?
Just the way you said
no, that. I'm not, Chris.
no, we're gonna go longer than this.
I mean, if you want to go 30 more minutes talking about Gio Lopez, let's go.
No, we're good. buddy.
I know.
I'm just messing with you.
But TCU coming to town, this is no slouch of a team, a lot of talent. I know there's some potential concerns along their defensive line, but there's also some concern along our offensive line, which that was anyway, that I did not mean to laugh at. It's not funny. It's just unfortunate because that was the strongest position group on the team at one point. We thought going into the season, and it will be potentially when they all get healthy. But TCU, Gio Lopez, what are we really looking for from Gio coming Monday night, 8:00, prime time? I mean, think about it. Gio Lopez, was not a high recruit coming out of high school, goes to South Alabama, lights it up. And some people would look at his stats and say, I don't know about all lighting it up, but, Bill Belichick wanted him. Other big-time schools were talking to him as well. He chose Carolina. Now he finds himself Monday night. All the big names in ESPN will be there. I mean, this is going to be wild, and he finds himself on this stage. But what are we really looking for from Gio Lopez going into Monday night? That was a long segue into that question.
My biggest thing is I want to see him protect the football. No bonehead plays that turns the ball over. I want to see him manage the offense. Troy mentioned earlier, get the ball out quick. Don't hold on to it for too long. And just be a game manager, honestly. I don't think that he's got to go out there and be the Heisman winner. I think he just needs to take care of the football and do his job. And I think Bill's instilled that into him. Just every guy do their job. Let the rest of it take care of itself.
Yeah, I like all that, Trevor, and really what I'm looking for too. I'm just looking to see what kind of confidence and what kind of player we got in him. You know what I mean? I'm obviously I'm looking for him to play with that confidence and seeing what kind of chemistry he's got with the team because he hasn't been there that long. But all the guys that we've seen and talked to have raved about him. I'm looking for him to go out there and just be Gio. You know what I mean? Don't go out there and try to be a hero, play hero ball. It's your first game at Carolina. He's going to see what the Carolina faithful's like. I fully anticipate it to be a packed house for what would be, a big, moment in Carolina football history with Belichick's first game. But just don't get lost in that. Just go out there and just ball and be Gio and do, like Trevor said, do your job. Bill's talked about that. Go out there, practice hard, do your job. And I'm looking for him to go out there and do his thing. I'm excited to see him in Carolina Blue this season. I think the dude is legit. I think he's got a chance to be one of the best quarterbacks in the ACC. I won't go down the rabbit hole of predictions or anything like that, but I think he could be a really good player for us, and I think Carolina fans would be excited that we've got him on our team this year.
Well, Troy, you don't have to go down the rabbit hole because you already gave Trevor and Troy both gave their predictions on Gio Lopez and our quarterback breakdown, which you can go find on YouTube and Spotify. Guys, any closing thoughts on Gio Lopez being named the starting quarterback today as of a tweet by Carolina at 2:15 p.m. today?
Let's roll, baby. It's here. It's time
Gio.
now. It's time now.
It's time to go. It's time to go. Gio, I know you're not going to watch this, but Tar Heel
Hey,
Nation. Hey, you never know. We've had some players.
Hey, yeah, don't sleep on the tar pit now.
Go ahead,
Gio.
Trevor.
Yeah, Trevor, what are you doing?
I might get burned for this, but Gio, it's Gio time. It's go time. It's Gio time.
All right,
I had to throw that out
we're
there.
ending on that one.
All right. Can I kick him out of the studio? Just kidding.
It's Gio.
Nah,
time.
man, I'm excited for him, man. I think it's gonna be. I'm anxious to see what product we put on the field with Gio.
Hey, just give me 90% of the last Gio we had, and we rolling.
Hey, if he can tote that thing like 2.6, we in for something.
Well, I'm not saying just tote it, but just the play, but as a quarterback.
Yeah. I think he's got potential to be he's got potential to be a really good player for us.
Man,
like that.
Look at Trevor there, man. Looks like we crushed his world. Do you want to say it one more time, Trevor? We'll let you get the Gio go time or whatever that was.
No, I'm trying to trademark it right now. I'm on the site.
Oh. That's our first Tar Pit podcast shirt, right?
Yeah.
What was it again, Trevor?
He's trying to get Trevor to say it again so bad.
Gio, it's Gio time. It's go time.
Hey, that's catchy. It's Gio time.
Oh yeah, could you hear it? What time is it? And then the other side of the
Gio.
All right. Anyway, all right, guys. Well, we're gonna close
on
on that. I'm not even gonna. I usually ask the guys any last closing thoughts, but we're good there. So
I got one more last closing thought. Y'all, please come see us at the Carolina Inn, 3 to 5, Monday, September 1st, Carolina versus TCU. Shout out to the Carolina Inn for their hospitality and letting us come kick it on their front porch. It's a great time. It's a not too far of a walk from Keenan, and it's going to be popping. Y'all come and get on the mic with us. Well, I'm super excited to see the Carolina faithful again.
I can tell you because it's in the promo video. It's a half a mile walk and an estimate of 10 minutes.
And gently uphill from what Google Maps told me or Apple Maps.
Whoa, did you really look up the elevation of how hard you would be struggling to get there?
No, I'll look to see how far of a walk it was from the Carolina Inn to and you can do where you're driving, bicycling, or walking. Mm-hmm. And I did the walk one, and it's a 10-minute walk, but it says gently uphill.
It's gonna be a nice day. Nice day to get a nice 10-minute walk in.
We good, fellas?
We good. I'll get my last thought in there. I walked outside this morning, and it was crisp, clean air, and I said, "This feels like football weather, baby."
Yes, sir.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you for tuning in for the whatever episode you want to call this, special semi-breaking news, since this is at 10:30 at night when you're going to see this. But thanks for watching today. As you know, you can find the Tar Pit Podcast pretty much on every social network you have. Thank you so much for the love, the support of the Tar Pit Podcast. That's what we're all about, is not being number one or not competing with other people. It's about connecting you guys. It's about connecting the fans with Carolina football. And that's what we're all about at the Tar Pit Podcast. So like Troy said, we hope you see you at the Carolina Inn on Monday from 3 to 5. And as always, go Heels.
Go Heels.